Okay, I'll put this up. Title of this video. Oh, I'm such a sourpuss right now. January 1st of 2025. Oh, I'm sorry, February 1st of 2025. I've got my son telling me that I'm wasting his life when I'm asking him what type of plywood that he's throwing out as he's carrying shit from the back and whatever, and like, I'm telling you people, I don't know. I got to wash my hands of this yard. I have to walk away from it. It is a godless yard. It represents death. This house represents death. It was death when I moved in. And it's still death. And the way I'm feeling right now, I'm pretty much half dead. My landlord's got me paying money so she can build a case against me with her family to kick us out, to rent it out to immigrants so that they can get triple the money in rent. More than double in rent. Until they tear it down after they sell it. As they empowered my son to abuse me even more because he's mad. As he's saying that whatever he's doing out there, he's doing it for me. Now, I looked up spring cleanup in BC. Delta spring cleanup is every year like clockwork for years and years and years and years and years. And what it is they give you 1 week to put your stuff out on the road. It could be all this wood that my son is gathering up, which I've done it before in Delta. And you leave it out on the road, and what people don't take, among other things that they put out there, the big trucks come a week later and pick it all up, and it's gone. And the residents don't pay for that. In the city of Surrey, in 2024 of May, they had a spring cleanup where you could load up whatever it was and drop it off to a drop-off center, and it wouldn't cost you anything, depending on what it was. I'm assuming they'll do that in 2025. So why didn't they wait until May, when a lot of this stuff could have been dropped off there for free? Seriously. But no, they had to build a case. And they had to make my son mad at me, as they knew I was already having problems with him destroying my stuff. Yeah. So, okay, I'm just going to let this run for a few minutes because Amari's coming up with some new sounds. Aren't you? Are you coming into a new milestone? You've been just talking up a storm for like an hour now. Yeah. Just talking up a storm. Okay, stuff like this.
What?
Oh, is this clean? What is this?
That's mine.
Well, I don't know why he's got it.
I was laying play with it.
Oh.
You want toy to play with. He always plays with shirts.
You like playing with shirts, Amari? Yeah? There, you got new sounds. New sounds. Oh God, you're so Mr. Stiff. These ankle bracelet, or these leg braces, all they're doing is making him even more stiff. Find his ankle bracelet, put that on for a while. And like, all they're doing is making him more stiff. You can't win for losing. No. Now you're Mr. Stiff. Yeah, you think it's funny, eh? Yeah? Yeah? You think it's funny? Oh, now I'm gonna rest. And when I get up, I'm gonna cook up your asparagus, your bok choy. I'm gonna find some home canned beef. I'm gonna cook that up, get it ready. I'm gonna cook up your broth, get it ready, home canned broth. Oh, whatever broth. If we're doing beef, we should probably home can beef bone broth. Yeah, that's a lot of prep work. I don't know if I'm going to make it outside tomorrow. I don't feel that great. I'm losing it anyway. It doesn't matter. Right? Andre will probably go out there and help Malcolm Hurricane. And I just told Andre, if it looks like it's valuable, just rescue it before it gets thrown out. Yeah. So that's probably what's going to happen. Because I ain't feeling that great, people. Mm-mm. No. Come on, make that noise. Talk. That's why I turned on the camera. I want people to hear. Maybe if I lay down, he'll start again. It's new sounds. He's been talking for an hour straight. Come on. Say what you were saying before. No one wants to hear you talk. I like it when you come into new milestones. Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, of course you're quiet, right? Why are you being so quiet now? Oh. Oh well, we tried. That's what gets us into trouble. Your hip is gonna pop out, and then what? What are all these new sounds? That's a new sound. You've been doing that for an hour. What? Are you stuck? Are you wanting to get up? Are those leg braces maybe making it hard for you? What? Those leg braces are making you stiff. Maybe that's it. And you're mad. Maybe. Come on, sit up. What are you doing? Don't do that. Your hip will pop out, and then what? We'll be an emergency. Oh my God. Yeah, and then the doctor will cut the bone. We haven't fattened you up enough yet. No. We gotta keep trying. Yeah. Next time Nana gets up, I'm gonna just cook your asparagus and stuff. Yeah. What? Are you stuck? What's the matter with you? Why can't you sit up? He's been in those leg braces things, and they're not that great. They're really not. All paranoid with that, too, you know. It is pathetic. Life is pathetic. If you're not being stressed out in one way, you're being stressed out in another way. Completely stressed out.
Okay, so egg sandwich and your...
You have to make me a little more iced tea because I drank it. Yeah. You took off those leg braces for a few hours. And I don't know. It doesn't seem to be moving around that much. Not like he used to, because they're making him stiff. Yeah. And they're not really spreading his legs apart. And his legs are crossed, so you know it's fucking making his hip come out. Stupid. The world is a stupid place, man. I tell you. Oh, I can't see nothing. I don't see your face. I think I see you now. I think Nana sees you now. I think that's you. What are you doing? Huh? Are you a little camera ham? It's funny how kids know. They know. They know something.
Be very careful. It's a little bit full.
Are you finding that when you try and sit him up that he's not sitting up very good?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I know. I'm finding the same problem too.
Why?
Well, honestly, I think it's those leg braces. And he's been wearing them pretty regular since we got back, and I don't know, he's making them stiff up. Stiffening up his legs even more than what they already were. But we have to use him. We don't really have a choice, but he moves around so much that he twists them around and shit. He gets them all weirded out. They're not very good. Nothing works for Amari. He's a Houdini baby. He's always busting out of shit. Ever since he was little. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. I think I'm not feeling that great. So, I'm going to cut my losses. And I'm going to get ready for the next punch out.
Tell me about it. I'm probably feeling right now.
There.
Thank you, Andre.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get ready for the next punch out. It's just a matter of time before something fucking happens again.
Secret language, like I scratch my head.
Yeah.
The answer's A.
Okay. So I sent Andre outside. Yeah, he's mad at me. Whatever. I told him, you're younger than me. But I'm not used to working outside. It's not that bad out there right now, Andre. Bag up shit, get ready for the garbage, I don't care. If you see something you want for your fort, you go ahead. You put it inside Mr. Lace's cows. You know, there's a few things there I put off to the side. You just whatever. I don't know people. I swear I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. Funny thing is, I'm waiting for the next punch out. Fucking right. Like, seriously, man. It could be the smallest thing. I'm not giving Alex $100 for a plumber that if I would have had to call a plumber, a company under emergency situation at 6 o'clock in the morning in the dark, in the pouring rain, it would have costed her $450 fucking dollars. She couldn't even pay $100 for somebody that went out of their way and came and snaked it out for her. While she was in fucking India, running around in a parade with the rest of her people, comparing how much they own and how wealthy they are and how superior they are. Yeah. Compared to everybody else. That just makes me want to have a nervous breakdown. Yeah. I'm scared. That's another reason why I want to have a nervous breakdown. Because I know they won't stop. So they'll figure out another way. They'll say something. They'll want something. Something will break. They won't want to fix it. I don't know. And I'm weak. That's my problem. And they know it. Yeah. So I think Andre's going to go outside tomorrow. And I'm just going to have to cut my losses. My throat's itchy. Maybe I'm catching Andre's cold now. Who knows? Doesn't matter. They'd be happy. Yeah. Well, your mother killed herself. She didn't listen to us. We told her to stay inside while we robbed her. She should have stayed inside and she wouldn't have got sick. So if she died, that's all her fault. Because she didn't listen to us because we told her to stay inside. Yeah. We told her she wasn't allowed in the yard anymore. She wasn't allowed to own anything anymore. So if she went out there, did whatever she did, that's not our fault. She didn't have a right to go and try and save her buckets. She didn't have a right to try and save her seedling trays and what little planter pots are left. She didn't have a right to do that. She didn't have a right to do anything in that fucking yard. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why that was like that, but anyway. Oh, I slept. I'm going to try and get outside tomorrow on Saturday. I'm going to see if I can go outside first. See how long I can work out there. And then when I come in, Andre's going to try and go outside. We're dog meat. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm listening to Canadian Prepper here. And he's talking about the tariffs that Trump is bringing in today, tomorrow, we're not quite there yet, February 1st, and how it's going to affect the Canadian economy. And a lot of people are going to lose their jobs and whatnot because it's just going to cost too much to send goods to the United States at 25% tariff. And apparently he thinks Trudeau is going to use that as a ploy to give people a stipend who are losing their jobs in terms of that universal basic income, easing it into the general population to offset inflation and people losing their jobs. And he also was saying that gardens are going to become important for people to be able to feed their families and whatnot, because the cost of food is going to start to skyrocket. And I'm like, well, maybe that's why my landlord's doing what they're doing, stealing all my planter pots, wiping everything out in the yard, because they taking my shit and giving it to somebody else, because you know that stuff that's good isn't going in the landfill, people. It went to a disposable company that opened up the cab, walked in there, and started hauling the shit out. Right? And picked through it and took what they wanted, and then whatever they did with it didn't end up in a landfill. So if you got a whole lot of planter pots in there, and whatever, or whatever, including toys, right? Because I really don't know what my son threw out. Now, I know there was busted furniture up in there, and beams and all that crap. Beams from the porch, right? That kind of crap. Shimei's piano was busted up, as if I wanted Shimei's piano to be busted up. Like I said, I bought piano tuning equipment to try and tune the piano before I was going to hire somebody to come in and tune it for me. But when that girl moved in, I didn't really have much of a choice but to let it go, okay? And then, of course, you know, there was other things out there, like when he gutted the garage because of, you know, wall units being in there and getting all mildewy and moldy and stuff because of the state of the garage with it leaking and all that crap. But besides that point. And then, of course, the landlord took it upon themselves to wipe out the yard because they had to build a case for themselves, right? In terms of, one more time the city is called, that's it, you're evicted. Well, first of all, it's never costed them any money anytime the city's come to the house, because I've always worked with that whip on my back out in the yard. Where one year, I don't exactly remember the 1 year, but I'm going to continue working on my playlist, where they had me out there for 10 months. Now, I don't even know if that's legal to have a tenant out in the yard for 10 months with the city coming by and checking up on you and making sure that you're doing the work to their satisfaction. Okay? That 10 months, people. Have it documented on YouTube. Alright? And then, I mean, whatever, like this bin that was picked up, clearly, I'll put this on me for a second. Clearly, that was a setup, because they came in the middle of winter with everything being rained on, saturated, and then frozen. So that my son was lifting double the weight. We're talking thousands of pounds here. One man. If that's not cruel and unusual, I don't know what is, people. Okay, that in itself is cruel and unusual, to ask one man to lift waterlogged, frozen, whatever, from the back and take it all the way out to the front and throw it in a bin. And then wipe out all the planter pots, empty them out, do whatever. I mean, there's a few out there left, but I mean, I don't know what in there, what went in the bin, people. Take out all the toys. They were good. They weren't broken. They weren't busted up. Like, you know, Kyrie had a little red, I guess, tiny tyke little car that Andre used. I have pictures of it on video, right? What Andre used to ride. The kind that they sit in and, you know, they can ride it. It's a little car. It's, right, made for toddlers. That went in. A little play set out there with the washer and dryer. You know, Fisher Price, those big plastic kind of like that. Jungle Gym outside play toys. One was really big, and I seen my son fold it up and put it in there, which means it could be put back together. There was another little, probably tiny tyke slide that Kyrie would have went down, could have went down this year, right? Same thing with Alea May. Okay, those are expensive toys. Not to mention what was hauled out of here before, when she did this before, attacking the toys, right? The city and her were attacking my toys, right? Outside play toys. So, you know, this is like the second or third time they've done this. And this time they wiped me out. They completely wiped me out because they pissed off my son so bad by having him running around out there fucking lifting thousands of pounds, as they saying, do this, like seriously, like this is wrong what they've done, people. And then threaten me with eviction if I don't if I have the city called on me again, when in fact it's probably them calling. I do believe that. I do. It was too convenient for my landlord to come and increase the rent and then look at my son and tell him to clean up the yard, and not only 2 weeks later they got a big ass fucking bin up there threatening me that, you know, if the city is called again, they're gonna, what are they gonna call me on? Because the yard's too fucking green? They've done it already. Is that one of their things where they're gonna say, well, it was called, they called on her because it was too green? Well, what did she do to solve the too green? Well, she went out there and she was cutting this and cutting grass, just cutting back, they had me cutting back the grapevine because it was too green. They had me cutting back the grapevine because it was too green. They had me up by the pond, by the road there, cutting back anything. I'm like, well, what do you want me to cut? Right? It was a tree. Right? Well, cut that. I said, cut that? Like, how, what? How? Like, didn't even know what they wanted, people. It didn't make any sense. And then another time they came, and it was like April. It was too gray. And the guy is taking a picture of a fucking brick. He's like taking a picture of the fucking brick up, down, you go down the road, like down the walkway, right? I can show you the fucking brick. He was taking a picture of, telling me the yard was too gray. And I'm like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do about that? It's like, we're just coming out of winter time. Of course it's going to be gray. Well, I don't know. You have to, you know, you figure it out. That's what they said. You fucking figure it out. And I'm like, okay. So, they didn't like the way the stump looked because it was too gray. So I said, fine. I came inside the house. I grabbed some of my black walnut stain. And I was out there staining fucking black with black walnut. And that shit was splashing in my eyes. It was splashing my fucking eyes as I was painting it in the cold. And then they came back and I showed them. And then they left me alone. But that's their case. Too gray, too green. Right? You know, my son, last couple of years, he's been causing trouble though, right? With throwing everything out. Busting up everything. And he left it out there too long. But you know what, people, all that could have been solved with my landlord this year coming by. And even last time. Right? You know what I'm saying? Their fences are falling down. Andre said the back stairs, the bottom stairs is busted now. Completely fucking busted. I did find out there in the back, like I really should go out tomorrow. But I don't know about that because honestly, I don't even know how safe those stairs are. If the bottom one busted, I mean, I don't know. Because I found the roofing material. I guess I was going to put them on the stairs when I was out there working this summer. But I burned out, people. I just burned out. These eye drops are making me sick. This daily grind that I do is making me sick. Anyway, I don't even know if it's reasonable to put that shit up on these stairs because they're just rotting out. Like that porch is rotting out. That like roof and shit. It's fucking rotting out. My son, he replaced the fucking beam. If he wouldn't have replaced the beam at the end of the porch this last year with his friends, which was out there and ended up in the bin, right? You know what I'm saying? That porch would have came crashing down. Honest to God, it would have came crashing down. It was so fucking rotten. So my son saved them a lot of money there, and this is how they repay him. Because he never asked for no money from her. He didn't ask for no money for the materials, nothing. He just did it. Him and his buddies, 4 of his buddies came by, because it takes like 4 of them to brace it up as they're changing the beam. They have to run like big beams, right, in between before they take off the beam to run another fucking beam. Don't ask me how they jack it. They use a jack to fucking push the porch back up so it's level. Like, don't ask me how they do it, but they do it. And my son never charged her for not 1 red cent 4 of his fucking buddies came by and did that. And then the beams that are underneath the porch on this side, not that side where he had to change the end beam, but on this side, they were buckling, and she asked Marcane to change them. She did pay for the beams, and she paid a little bit of money for his buddies, same buddies, to fucking change, I don't know, 4 beams or something like that. I can show you. Like, we can count them. It was only 4 or 5, right? I don't think it was that many. I think it was like 4 or 5. And again, you know, they had to brace it, and they had to use a freaking jack to fucking hold it up, and so that, you know, they just whatever. Like, this is what I mean. It's all Mickey Mouse fucking shit around here. Like, it's stupid. And now my stairs, I can't even go. I won't even be able to go down my stairs now. And I don't know how safe all the other stairs are. As they got my shit being thrown, as they're throwing out my shit. They're not dealing with their shit, but they're fucking robbing my shit. And well, we got Canadian preppers saying that the economy is going to get real bad now because of this tariff. And people are going to have to plant gardens just to be able to, you know, have a little extra food in the house, because it's going to be too expensive all the way around. Let's listen.
But you're not seeing it when you go on CNN or ABC, even though he's giving them all kinds of material. They're just quiet. Did you notice that? It's because they're on board. This is an empire in its death throes, okay?
Yeah, my landlord is an empire in her death throes, right?
Understand that. And
with her fucking family, because that's how she taught them. Yeah.
For some reason right now, they're trying not to rock the boat. Now, some people might say it's because they're scared, and that's not a good thing either if the media...
He's talking about the media not reporting on what's going on.
...is scared to criticize the president. That's something that people should think about. Remember, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And that's,
but I don't think
that is my landlord's. Absolute power corrupts completely. That's it, in a nutshell, people. You can walk off with all my planter pots as we're going into some sort of depression here. Threaten to kick me out, blind, with dependent grandchildren, with no affordable housing. If the city is called on me when in fact it's your yard and you should have dealt with it from the get-go, from day one, from the moment I moved in, or at least been on board with me to help me when I really needed help in terms of, oh geez, didn't get rid of that stuff yet? Well, let's do it now, Judy. Okay, I think so, Mrs. Gill. I'm getting kind of tired of looking at it because for whatever reason, my son just keeps throwing on more shit there because he's just busting up more of my shit. Right? Right? So take away the pile and maybe he'll stop. Right? So... But no, she had to go in for the fucking kill, right? Take away everything and act like him. Bust up my shit. If you're not busting up my shit, you're stealing my shit. Isn't that what I was going through with downstairs with my son? If they weren't fucking busting it up, they were fucking stealing it and selling it and giving it away. And fuck it, the mother just drove up and took a whole bunch of shit. And then didn't even have the fucking decency to talk to me about what her daughter's been doing. Well, we know why her daughter's been doing it, because the mother fucking does it. So you can't be surprised. Well, it's the same thing with Mrs. Gill and her family, right? They just do it in a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And they got my son enraged so that he would work harder. Right? You know, they used him like a field grub, right? Made him lift thousands and thousands of fucking pounds in the soaking wet with being frozen so that the company that drives off with it can make more money, which is crooked, as they're stealing my shit that's in the inside, and they're probably taking it someplace where they can grow their fucking gardens. Well, my family will starve. But the thing is, I've done food prep, but they're trying to take away my house. So they don't care if I have food in the house. because they're trying to kill me. They're trying to destroy my family. So they can have more and more and buy another house and another house and another house and have more. Fly to India for fucking Vaisakhi parades, right? You know, have their bills paid, right? You know what I'm saying? But not my family. No, another one will die here. It won't be long before another one dies over there. Before you know it, there's only 1 or 2 left. That's it. So when Tisha wants to escape Canada, I don't blame her, people. Might be the only way she'll survive is if she leaves. Because Canada is a very dangerous place. And it's getting real bad when people are running around stealing your fucking planter pots and your freaking seedling trays. All the things that you need for a garden. Isn't that interesting, right? That's why they promote garden beds when they advertise their house for to put up for sale. Sheds, greenhouse, garden beds. That's what they advertise as amenities to justify their $3 million. That's what they want to get paid. $3 million. And they advertise what I made to cover up their terrible yard, as they hold it still to this day against me.
This is. I think they secretly are on board with whatever is happening right now because they know that something much bigger is coming. It feels as though we're battening down the hatches to go to war with the world. That's what it actually feels like. What form it's going to take, how we're all going to be impacted. I know one thing is that it's almost a guarantee that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better.
Yeah, especially when landlords make it worse for you. Now he's going to talk about growing food. Something my landlord doesn't want me to do anymore. Well, when you take away all my planter pots and you go in the back and you start wiping out my shit there after you wiped out everything else around in this yard, basically, right? As you're holding an eviction over my head as you do it, right? Because you know it's just a matter of time before the city will be called on me for being too green. Or they'll come in with a new technique. Something completely off the wall that I didn't even fucking see it coming, because I never fucking see it coming until it shows up.
Growing a garden is not going to be something for just hobbyists. It's going to be something that's...
Yeah, you're not allowed to have planter pots because you're a hobbyist. Somebody else needs those planter pots because the economy is going to change. So they need it for their vegetables or whatever they're going to grow.
Essential soon, especially if you live in Canada. You need to go back to our Blue Strip videos and learn. I know you're rolling your eyes.
Why to go to Home Depot and buy planter pots when you can get them for free by raiding somebody else's yard?
Guys, right now, just give me the news. Listen, it's going to come down to survival.
It comes down to survival, so clearly my landlord doesn't care whether I survive or not, because, you know, all you have to do is go into my videos, I suppose. Right.
Even if you are a person who is upper middle class, okay, it could get very difficult.
Oh, it's going to get very difficult for my landlord and her family who are upper middle class, literally. Well, we get the streets, literally. And that's good business.
And it is going to, there's going to be a point where the cost of food, the labor that you have to do to actually garden, the reason why people don't garden.
The labor that you have to do, well, before you can do, you need things. You need garden beds, you know, your garden boxes, you need garden trays, you need seedling trays, you need tools, you need perlite, And you need planter pots. I have to go outside tomorrow and try and save something before my son really throws it out, man.
It burns.
I have to, people. Or I'm going to lose it. You're hearing it. What's the desperation on planter pots and wiping out everything out of the yard? Not that they have a right to do that, because they don't. It's illegal. And what the city is doing, to the degree that they're doing it, because one is hiding behind the other, because they're in cahoots to try and clear out the house to rent up downstairs and upstairs 2 separate suites at $2,500 each. They could probably get $5,000 on this fucking house with everything that I've done when it comes to sheds and all that shit. $2,500 up, $2,500 down. Because they're middle class and they deserve it. And somehow I, all of a sudden, all these years, become trash because I didn't keep up with their gluttony and their corruption. In terms of, you know, go to the temple, right, as they're praying. The guru is saying, okay, here's your opportunity, clan, cult, whatever you want to call them. You know, when you leave the temple, just make sure you start raising rents all at the same time so the people can't fight back. Kick out the ones in the basement. Start with that first and start overinflating the basement suites. And then as you're done doing that, kick out the ones in the houses and start overinflating the housing market in terms of the rental market, those houses, right? As soon as you kick them out, raise it by $1,500. So if your tenant's paying $1,000, kick them out, and when you rent it to the new tenant, charge them $2,500. And if everybody in the temple does that, because the guru says do that, you know, those mean-ass motherfuckers that like to, you know, glare at you with their long white beards and their turbans and their, you know, and, right, those are the ones that are telling their people to do this. And because the people are like a beehive mentality, I think that's what the Vasaki parades are all about. That's why this board director who stole my foundation certificates didn't want to have a Vasaki parade here, because it wasn't called by those mean-ass fucking gurus where only the Punjabis fly in and make it look like they're a real community of Punjabis. Only a Punjabi really can participate in a Vasaki. Only a Punjabi can call a Vasaki, not a little white woman with the foundation that wanted everybody to have a prosperous and healthy future, you know, have food safety and food security and housing security, but that's not what they're about. Clearly, because if that was the case, they wouldn't be doing the things that they've been doing with me all these years. Right? Treating me the way they've been treating me. And now that the economy is really starting to tank, I mean, I don't know, like, they got fucking money, man. Like, I just don't get it, people. Like, I don't fucking get it. They're stealing my planter pots and everything I own out in the fucking yard. Like, that is pathetic. I just don't get it. Other than, I don't know, it's money, right? Money corrupts, ultimately, right?
Is because it's work, right? Well, there's going to come a point where that hour of work that you do in the garden might be worth $100, because that's how much that produce is going to actually cost us, most of which, especially in the wintertime, comes from down south, California. That's where we get a lot.
And that's assuming your neighbors don't rob you after you've done doing what you did. Because the last few years when I was planting, I was getting robbed. Yeah, a couple of years in a row, to the point where I just kind of stopped. But then Tamika Johnson was around and she was coming and doing stupid shit. So I'm pretty sure some of it was done by her in terms of the potato thief, and she poured the bleach into my plants and that kind of thing, right? But I don't think it was all her. I think there's few other people in this neighborhood that steal food from gardens. So, as good as he says, it's maybe not, it's not what you think after you all said and done, and then you get robbed. Stupid.
A lot of our fruits and vegetables, right?
Well, what difference does it make? I already got robbed. Or I'm being robbed of my planter pots and all this other shit. Like, fuck, man, I'm running around out there. I got Andre today out there hiding shit. Like, it's fucking stupid, man.
So this is something that everybody needs to be ready for, okay? Impacted commodities specifically are going to be softwood lumber.
I gotta get ready to be set up again at some point and evicted, insulted, threatened. Yeah. Just, that's what I gotta get ready for. I do. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. Small claims court, maybe? Oh. Should I be writing a small claims court lawsuit before? That's 50 grand right off the hop. That's the maximum dollar that you can take it to this provincial court in terms of a small claim civil lawsuit. 50 grand. That wouldn't even pay nearly half of my fucking labor out there over the last 12 years, not to mention what I've lost in this yard with these antics from this bullshit. From the children's toys alone, you're probably looking at 5 fucking grand if I had to go off and buy them new over the years, because this isn't the first time that they've done this. But this time they really wiped me out. The only thing we got left is that little green mountain. Oh, my son came up here, he looked at it, he didn't say anything to me. It's in my kitchen, like Mr. Lace the rooster up by my fridge. Well, you're not allowed to have roosters and chickens in the city of Surrey, so it's kind of appropriate that I have that little tiny tyke mountain where Mr. Lace was in a cage when we found him running the streets in the middle of winter, frozen. And it was dark too. The kids chased him down and caught him. So we can't be surprised that little mountain isn't sitting up by the same spot where Mr. Lace was. Right? But yeah, if I had to put a dollar amount on everything, including the playhouse and all of it, right? Over the years, oh, probably 5 grand. If I had to buy it brand new. And the thing about that stuff is, you take bleach and water to it, doesn't matter how old it is, chances are it's still going to look brand new. Yeah. It takes a lot to really ruin that shit. Children's easels, the whole 9 yard. I think I have an easel or something in the X Club. Maybe.
Dairy and agricultural products, steel and aluminum, automotive, food, consumer products, the whole 9 yards. I don't know how this is going to affect us in terms of shipping down to the States. We ship down to the States. Are people going to have to pay some kind of, what do you call it, duties? Possibly. I don't...
And then he tells people to prep. To stock up. Yeah, well, all you need is a landlord that wants to destroy your life and take it away from you. So you're basically prepping for them. You're not prepping for your family. Hell no, your family's dying.